Oh, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we move on to item 2, question time. No questions have been received from the public. Item 3, questions asked under Standing Order 7 have not received any such questions. Item 4, urgent items, there are none. Items 5, declarations of interest. Is there any declarations of interest from members? No. Thank you. Right. Item 6 is the annual governance statement. Neil Jones, Head of Internal Audit, will present this item. Neil, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thanks, Chair. Morning, everyone. I'm a bit croaky, unfortunately, so bear with me.
Yeah.
So just a bit of background first. It's a statutory requirement under the Accounts and Audit Regulations to provide an annual governance statement, and it's effectively an accountability statement to the Council stakeholders. There's an established good governance framework that we follow, and it's extensively used at the Council to build up the annual governance statement. That provides good guidance to us. And then the AGS also covers our own governance arrangements, but also any arrangements with key and significant partners. What it does is accompanies the statement of accounts, which are being presented to Corporate Governance Committee now. And the external auditor then takes time to review the annual governance statement. And external auditors are paying a lot more attention to annual governance statements than they have in the past. So the approach to compiling it has been fairly consistent, and each department assesses itself against the framework guidance, and then each director reviews the outcome and signs that off to me to return to me. And then my internal audit team review the information, come back, seek any clarifications, and also look for any other sources of evidence that will help build up the statement, including my annual opinion on the control environment, Head of Audit's annual opinion. There isn't a prescriptive way to compile the statement, but we've developed a method whereby we have a governance group consisting of senior officers, and they meet to review the outcome of the draft statement, and then we consider any key reporting matters such as significant governance issues and future challenges. Council has always been transparent in its AGS and always had good responses back from the external auditor, and in terms of especially in reporting significant governance issues. And to ensure consistency across those, we've developed a set of criteria to measure those, which have been recognised as good practice by SITFA2. So for this year's AGS, all the information there, quite a lot of detailed information about the arrangements. And then for paragraph 19, we're reporting that 2 prior year significant governance issues are in hand. And in paragraph 20, we've introduced 4 new governance issues. They reflect the findings and recommendations from the external auditor, so that cross-match in terms of the external auditor's report. And there's work in hand to respond to those as well. I guess that's all I have to say on the AGS, and happy to take any questions.
Yeah, members. Everyone's comfortable. If you wouldn't mind, Neil, just I looked at different stuff and different meetings I attend, and I know our colleagues on our Nottingham company that we have as an arrangement was brought to my attention that I'm not sure of the numbers, but it's people leaving and still getting paid. And 1 or 2 people have been picking up on this and challenging me on it. And I said, well, look, we will look at it in the appropriate way, in the proper way. So if you'd like to just make a comment on that, I'd be really grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, certainly, Chair. Thank you. So, yes, that matter arose at the previous Corporate Governance Committee in September, and the Nottingham City Internal Audit function undertakes the audit for the East Midlands Shared Service. And when they were doing one of their audits on payroll, they identified an issue with salary overpayments. It was made very clear at the Corporate Governance Committee meeting that the issue was predominantly at Nottingham City, but there was some elements at Leicestershire. And the issue is mostly not due to the failings within East Midlands Shared Service. It was where managers had omitted to close down properly their responsibilities in terms of staff. So the head of audit at Nottingham City Council did mention that at the meeting. There were a couple of questions and discussions around it. He gave assurances that things were being looked at in depth. I work in conjunction with him to ensure that's going to happen. Excuse me. And then following the meeting, the independent members raised some additional questions. So it led me to identify a bit more detail. And I've provided that back to Corporate Governance Committee in an email to all of the members of the Corporate Governance Committee, which is a standard way of
So you feel confident, Neil, give assurances that it's all known and it's being looked at and measures to prevent this ongoing?
Yeah, definitely it's all known.
Okay.
It's more of an issue for Nottingham City.
Yeah,
That's why they're
indeed.
starting to investigate in depth the processes at Nottingham City. But we have been given assurance that they will then move across to Sheer to make sure our processes are still, good. But I can say the processes here are good. The numbers are lower, and over the number of years, it's considerably lower than where we are.
Yeah.
And the value is compared to the value of the payroll is minute, really.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Everybody comfortable? Everybody happy with that? Yes, thank you. There's a recommendation, unless there's no comments, I will make. We're asked to approve the 2025 annual government statement and to authorise the Director of Corporate Resource to update this to align with the finalised statement of accounts. Is that agreed? Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, can I just ask, being as I'm here, sitting here as well, can I get some signatures from you? Because it'll avoid disturbing to the top. So I've got 2 copies that you have to sign.
Yeah.
This will then go once the statement accounts are signed off.
Yeah.
This will then be attached.
Yeah. You can't wait to get them signed.
Well, to be honest, I'm going on holiday tomorrow, and I didn't want to leave anybody else in.
Yeah. Thank
If
you
you
very
can put your
much.
name on both of them and the date, please.
Yeah. The date is
24.
24th of November.
It's worrying that we asked for 2 copies, but apparently in the past one has gone missing somewhere along the way. I don't know where it's
worried.
in. Thank you very much.
Is that less worrying now?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Got your agenda paper there.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you don't sign that. Thank you very much for that. So that's all done and dusted, so we know where we are with that. Right, we move on to item 7, the annual review of the Constitution. I'm going to hand that over to Fiona Macmillan, Head of Law, will present this item. Fiona, please go ahead.
Thank you, Leader. So I'm going to present the annual review of the Constitution, which is part of our ongoing commitment to ensure that our governance framework remains robust, clear and up to date. Article 15 of the Constitution requires the Chief Executive to monitor and review the operation of the Constitution and recommend any necessary changes to full Council following consideration by this committee. So this year's review has focused on 3 main areas: the articles, the meeting procedure rules and the overview and scrutiny procedure rules. So I'm just going to run through the key changes for you. So in the articles, Article 6, a new section has been added to clarify the appointment process for scrutiny commissioners, reflecting current practice that appointments are made by full council. And Article 14 is amended to clarify that the Director of Law and Governance may subdelegate legal powers in line with recent case law and the Council's general scheme of delegation. And then moving on to the meeting procedure rules in Part 4A, they've generally been restructured for greater clarity, with procedures now separated into 3 sections: County Council meetings, executive and committee meetings, and administrative matters. So key amendments include allowing more flexibility for the timing of the annual meeting in election years in line with the Local Government Act, clearer rules on the appointment and role of the chairman and vice chairman, including the expectation that the chairman distances themselves from political activity during their term, updated rules on quorums, minutes, questions, motions, voting and urgent business to reflect current practice and legal requirements, an expanded scope for rejecting inappropriate questions or motions, including those that are defamatory, frivolous, offensive or unlawful, and improved navigation with subheadings and renumbering to make the document easier to use. And then moving on to the overview and scrutiny procedure rules amendments, there's just general updates to reflect the appointment and responsibility of the scrutiny commissioners, and to add clarification that each scrutiny committee is responsible for setting its own work programme, taking into account the wishes of all members. So the committee is asked to recommend these changes to the full County Council for approval.
Fiona, could I just ask you
Yes,
to
please.
reiterate the actions of the chair regarding political? Is that just whilst they're at the chair, or is that
While they're in the fulfilling the office of the chairman of council, they just need to be careful about political activity because they're sort of an overseer of the whole council rather than
political?
being political at that
Good,
time. Yeah.
understood. Yes, thank you for that. Members, yes, please.
A couple of points, just picking up on that one about the chairman distancing themselves from political. Does that include on social media?
Potentially, yes, I think so. I think the chairman needs to be sort of apart from that politics side of things when they're acting as the chairman of the council for that.
Is that in the constitution already?
On social media, no, I don't think it is.
I mean, the changes that the chairman should distance themselves from political.
No, these are the changes that are.
So that's not in there already?
No,
Okay.
no, we added that in to give clarity to that, so that's
Okay.
not an
Yeah,
issue.
which I appreciate. I think
Yeah.
it's very good. That.
And then just another point, just a bit, I mean, I might be reading it wrong, but on page 42, 43 about Article 6.
Yeah.
About the chair of the Scrutiny Commission, it says there that the chair will one of whom will be the chairman. But it doesn't clarify who will be the chairman. But then when I read Standing Order 29 on page 65, it says it will be the leader of the largest opposition group. So I just wonder why there's a difference between those two.
I don't think there's a difference. I think they need to be read together. But Rosemary did mention this to me that it perhaps needs a little bit of clarifying. So it might be a good idea to take out. So at the moment it says the council will appoint 4 scrutiny commissioners, 2 from the leading political group and 1 from each of the 2 opposition groups, one of whom will be the chairman, determined in accordance with paragraph 6.05 above. If we took out the one of whom will be and just make that with the chairman determined in accordance with paragraph 605, then that would clarify that so that you wouldn't have to read the second clause to understand the first clause.
Yeah, that's where I got a bit
Happy with that?
confused. But then,
Yeah.
so in Standing Order 29, it says it's the chair, the leader of the largest opposition group.
Yeah, so they need to be read together. So, but you're right, it should be able to be clear enough from the first one that you don't need to read the second one as well. So,
So just make that alteration, will you?
Thank you. I just wondered whether we could rotate it or something else, because otherwise you've stuck with just the same sort of process and people involved. I don't know, it's a thought, I'm putting it up for debate.
But in my view, it's always been the leader of the largest group, and you could have
agreed.
your opposition group, you could have 20 in there, and your second opposition group could have 2 in it. So why would you rotate it to someone that's only got 2 members when you've got another opposition group, your main opposition, that's got 20 members? So for me, it doesn't really fit, and we've always had it the leader. And I don't think rotation works personally, because there's no continuation. You get work passing between the 2 and no one's committed to the role, because you think, well, I'm only here for a few more months, I won't bother. So in my view, we've always had it that it's the leader of the largest opposition group. So the main opposition is always the chair of scrutiny. And I think that's how it should remain. I don't agree with any rotation.
Michael?
Yes, okay. We can leave it as that if we like.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
we haven't built any other changes in, so if you wanted to do that, would need to come back on a later date. But if you don't have,
No, I mean, it's a thought in my mind that what you said is right, but then you've already chaired it before, so there's experience in that, but not, pardon?
That's why I made him the vice chair.
Yeah, indeed. All right, okay, well, we are where we are, and we'll leave it at that, and if Michael's happy to go with that, that's fine. That's good. Okay, so right, so is there any other comments for you? No, you're happy?
Not for me, unless you've got any other questions.
No,
or you're happy
no.
with those.
Everybody's
proposed amendments?
comfortable with that, are they? Okay, right. So the recommendation, we asked to recommend to the County Council that the proposed changes set out in the appendix to the report be approved. Is that agreed? Yeah, thank you. Carried. Thank you. Right. We move on to item 8. As stated, there's no more urgent items, so I shall call this meeting to a close and thank you all for your attendance. Thank you.